Uh, uh, Welcome to all the people that have decided to listen to my presentation. It's a very unusual time for all of us. I'm based in Italy, and as you can imagine, it's uh, it's a weird time for us. I'm living close to Milano, which seems to be the center of the virus in Italy at the moment. So I'm basically stuck at home and working from home. Luckily, I can work from home like most people in technology. And I wanted to share with you our celebration. Of course, I would have been better to be in Boston and do that with face to face with all of you. But I think it's important to celebrate LibreOffice 10th anniversary by giving you some insight on what has happened over the last 10 years in the project. So we have a special logo. You see 1020 because it's not just 10 years of LibreOffice, it's 20 years of the free Office suite. In fact, in July 19, 2000, Sun announced it, OpenOffice.org, and LibreOffice, of course, is a heir of OpenOffice.org. So we have this nice logo this year, and this nice logo was designed by an Indonesian volunteer. What we did 10 years ago. 10 years ago, OpenOffice was on the risk of abandon by Oracle, and the community decided to take control of the project and relaunch the innovation and create something that could be self-sustaining. So not a single company behind the project, but an ecosystem of companies, individuals, volunteers, and so on. So basically, we reverted the paradigm. We went from an umbrella culture where Sun was deciding was taking the most important decisions for the project in a kind of mixing bowl situation where all the members of the community have a little bit of the decision in their hands. It's a meritocracy, so if you do things, you basically are in charge of taking decision in that area. Of course, this is mitigated now by the fact that we are a very large community. So there, we always try to reach consensus when there is something major to be decided. So on September 28, 2010, a few months from now, or 9 years and a few months back, the OpenOffice.org community announced the Document Foundation, the community of volunteers developing and promoting open source. OpenOffice.org sets up an independent foundation to drive the further growth of the project. The brand LibreOffice has been chosen for the software going forward. So this was how our press release was starting almost 10 years ago. And we opened on our wiki proposals for a kind of tagline, and we had an anonymous guy leaving the freedom never tasted so sweet. And I think we started with this. Our first swag, so hoodies and T-shirts, had this kind of print on their back. And this is what happened in terms of development from September 28 to the announcement. The announcement was in January 2011, the announcement of the first release that we called LibreOffice 3.3 to maintain continuity with the OpenOffice.org release cycle. So as you can see, the number of contribution was growing, and the green one are new contributors. So there were the yellow part are the known volunteers. Then there was Novell at the time. Oracle, and that, of course, there were they continued to develop OpenOffice.org. They renamed it Oracle OpenOffice, and we were cherry picking patches from their development, and Red Hat that was also contributing in a substantial way. And if you look at this is a research done by two Swedish researchers. The pie on the left is what happened 10 months before the fork, and the pie on the right is what happened the 10 months after the fork. As you can see, the diversity of the community increased in a dramatic way, and this was exactly what the founders of the project were aiming at. So we were extremely happy to see what happened. And another volunteer designed this a few years later. So what happened with OpenOffice? OpenOffice was unfortunately handled to Apache by Oracle, and with the support of IBM, because they didn't want to have the community, and the community managed to make a better product, more beautiful, updated, and still we are still doing this after 10 years with an unchanged enthusiasm. So the Document Foundation is based on 5 founding principles. So the license is copyleft. We don't want a permissive license. We think that a permissive license is not the right license for a desktop product that goes in the hands of many users, because it does not allow total freedom for the users. You're always under the decision of someone that can make it proprietary. We don't have a contributor agreement. Of course, we are careful about the quality of the patches, but this is not based on a contributor agreement. It's based on meritocracy. It's based on a community governance and vendor independence. Of course, there are vendors, companies that develop part of LibreOffice, and we are very happy to have these companies in our ecosystem. But there's no single company that can decide for the entire project. We have to reach consensus, and once we have reached consensus, this means that we protect freedom of the users. And the foundation was born to promote free software user freedom, document freedom, open standards, and of course, doing all this by developing LibreOffice. LibreOffice is a free software that is strongly supporting open standards. So let's say that LibreOffice is our tool to achieve our aims. And this was the first web page for the Document Foundation. Not the most beautiful web page, but with a very strong content. At the time, we wanted to give exactly an idea of what the community was really aiming for. And this is our German lawyer, Michael Schinagel, within in his hands the document of the Berlin authorities that recognize the Document Foundation. It was 2012. It took us a couple of years to set up the foundation, again, because we wanted to see consensus amongst the people. We wanted to really reflect what the community was aiming at. And of course, our main assets, not just at the time, but today as well. No, I'm going for, you still see my first slide. No, should be, I'm at
It's
slide.
okay, Italo.
I don't know the number, but I
Ian is doing the
advance.
slides.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry for interacting, but I'm chatting with the technical guys on IRC, and which I have on another screen. So our main asset were developers. We have a diversity of developers that is increasing, and we have developers all over the world today. So we basically started with a core of developers in Europe, but now we have developers really in every continent. And actually, we have users. We're probably the one of the few free software project that have users in Antarctica. We have users in Antarctica. There are people downloading LibreOffice in Antarctica. These and developers, they did something fantastic. This was Easy Access. LibreOffice, OpenOffice, and LibreOffice are a large, very large software project, 7-8 million lines. So it was difficult for a newbie to come and get into the code. And so they basically made small chunks of code, and they found small patches that could contribute to improve functionalities. And these allowed us to increase the number of contributors. So what we did, the people, this is Michael Mix, a very well-known senior developer, mentoring someone. So senior developers started to mentor new people, and this is the result. So this is from September 2010 to December 2011. We have data after December 2011, but this is just significant. You see the light green are new developers. You can see in October we had a huge number of new developers, people that enthusiastically embraced the project. And so we started with a small group, and we ended up in December 2012. This, you can see, these are more or less 2 years. We ended up with close to 600 developers, and now after 10 years, we are close to 2,000 contributors to the code of LibreOffice. Of course, we still have a core of coders, but we get contributions from new people on a regular basis. What we did, of course, as well, was increase unit test. LibreOffice has millions of users. We estimate 200 millions of users, and 100 unique users, and 100 are using LibreOffice and another Office suite. So we wanted to give a very good quality product. So we started to increase unit test. And as you can see, after years and years, we still are growing them. And this is coordinated by a very young developer, Marcus Morard, that started in September 2010 with his first contribution. It was at the university at the time, and now he's a professor at the university, teaching others to develop in a large project. And OpenOffice, maybe many people do not know, but OpenOffice was born in Germany, so it was a German product. And it was commented in German, so we translated the German comments. And we did something, this is Kohei Yoshida, a Japanese volunteer contributing to Calc. This is how Calc was before LibreOffice 4.2, and this is how Calc is after LibreOffice 4.2. And so we improved the software to a point that the software today is completely different and absolutely better than the software 10 years ago. we have development cycles. LibreOffice 6.0, we are on mobiles, we are on the cloud, and we are on the desktop. So, and of course, it's still evolving, it's still improving. These are the commits in the last 2 years. As you can see, Collabora, Red Hat, CIB, the Munich project. These are all contributors that are improving our software. These are the Git commits per week during the last year, more or less. As you can see, there are a couple of companies contributing in a very significant way, but others adding a lot of patches as well. And these are Bugzilla issues, and of course, Bugzilla is as important as development because software has bugs, and we want to get rid of bugs. And the light blue that you see at the bottom are the resolved bugs. So you see there is a majority of resolved bugs in comparison to the old bugs that are open. We use tools to improve the quality. So this is Coverity Scan. In a couple of years ago, we went to the point, of course, we have a few digit now, but we went to the point of having 0 Coverity Scan defects. So we keep this screenshot. We are very proud of this screenshot. But as you can see, this is going up to 2020, and the number of outstanding is still extremely slow. We use fuzzing tools like Google's OS Fuzz, but also others. And this slide gives you an idea on how many commits per month are based on fuzzing tools. We use these especially to get rid of security-related issues. And of course, developers are important, but community is as important as developers. This is Ask LibreOffice questions and comments. So you can see we get a lot of questions, but we provide a lot of answers and provide a lot of comments. Still the last 2 years. And this is MediaWiki edits. The increase that you see at the end is because we managed to allow local community to add their page in their local language. So we had local communities adding and translating a lot of MediaWiki pages with contents which are relevant for each native language. And this is the community over the last 2 years. Again, this gives you a better view. So number of people outside are the number of core, regular, and casual contributors. And the pie inside is the percentage of contribution. So we have a core doing more or less 80%, or the usual 80%, and then 15 and 5% done by regular and casual contributors. LibreOffice, the last future of open source software, was mentioned amongst the most important open source projects. And when Canonical in 2017 ran a survey to determine which was the desktop application Ubuntu user wanted to have, you can see that LibreOffice won hands down. So in terms of user base, we consider 200 million users. 90% are Windows, 8% on macOS, and 2% on Linux. We have 100% of Linux users and 10% of Windows and macOS users. So it's more or less 200 million users, as I said you before. And these are donations, which is the money supporting our project, how it's evolving over years, how our community is spread all over the world. You can see we are in Africa, although we don't have members because the communities there are less organized. Localization is in 145 messages, 119 are shipping. And we have a large amount of users doing localization. And a few slides about our conferences. This Paris in 2011, Berlin in 2012, Milan in 2013, Bern in 2014, Aarhus in Denmark in 2015, Brno in Czech Republic 2016, Rome in 2017, Tirana in Albania 2018, and Almeria in Spain in 2019. And these are community meeting in Albania, LibreOffice meeting in Japan, LibreOffice Hackfest in Taiwan, GNU Linux conference in Turkey, ODF Plugfest to support the ODF standard in Rome, Libocon Indonesia in 2018, a localization sprint in Nepal in 2018 as well, Libocon Latin America in 2019, Libocon Asia in 2019 as well. We started with continental conferences last year. And LibreOffice is available in two flavors. We call it fresh and still. We don't use stable on purpose because the product is stable. But of course, the fresh one is mostly for individual deployments, and the still one is mostly for enterprise deployments. There is a long-term support option available. Long-term support versions are offered by CIB and Collabora. These are options that we suggest to enterprises deploying LibreOffice. And our dream, of course, is the last question of the last line of Mohandas Gandhi famous motto, and then you win. We think that after 10 years we have won in our niche. Of course, it would have been nice to win in the market, but we have extremely strong and extremely powerful competitors. And the presentation is done. Thanks for listening to me. These are my email address. Feel free to send me question if you don't want to ask the question now, or to ask the question now. So the first question is about LibreOffice Online. The Document Foundation, of course, and that's easy to understand, has not the financial power of Google. So offering the same hosting would cost probably, I would say, 100 times our donation, our yearly donation. So it's difficult. There are you can find hosting that provide that. They're not for free because companies want to be paid for their services. And I don't think that unless we receive a substantial support or sponsorship for doing specifically this, this would not be possible as much as it's possible with Google. On the other hand, LibreOffice is the only solution online that fully answers the digital sovereignty question. We are, if you install LibreOffice on your intranet or in your in your own private cloud, or even in a public cloud, we are not going to take any data from the users, which is something that cannot be said by large cloud providers, being they based in any country. Are we trying to get in new communities? Yes, definitely. We are both trying to get into new communities, or to help aggregating communities that do exist. For instance, we are trying to aggregate all the French-speaking people in Africa in a single African French LibreOffice community. Of course, the current situation does not allow us to travel. I was supposed to go to Nigeria for the conference in Africa, and we will do this next year. We are traveling around as much as possible to show to the local communities that we are there, and we want them to help them as much as possible. Last year we did an effort in South America, and now there is a community growing there. 2 or 3 years ago we did the same effort in Asia, and now there is a community there. You see, when you see new developers and new volunteers showing up in the community mailing list. We would like to do more in Africa. Africa, unfortunately, is very large and very difficult to reach. And I see not a question, but about setting up LibreOffice Online in your home server. We have, if you go in the wiki of the Document Foundation, you can find several pages that explain how to do it. I can definitely suggest to find the page that has just been published by Marco Marinello. Is a student from Bolzano in Italy, who is extremely good at supporting, and I think Marco would be happy to support. He speaks English. He would be happy to support via email any users looking to get some hints about deploying LibreOffice on your home server. We definitely have our communities do use LibreOffice Online, and we would like to have more people doing this. Many open source cloud services like OwnCloud, like Nextcloud, PDO are integrating LibreOffice Online, and it's not a major issue to integrate it. And you should consider that LibreOffice, being the reference suite for open document format, is also providing a free document format. And as they're just telling me that I may use another few minutes, and I think I will spend a couple of minutes speaking about the open document format. It's very important. I think that in many free software advocates, the condescendence to Microsoft Office format is too high. We should always try to not to enforce, but to convince people that choosing open document format, they do the right choice for themselves, for their company, and for the freedom of the users. Okay, so there is another question. Ask me if we are using EU funds and if we are advocating a long-term project with EU, and how open are EU institutions for open solutions. So the issue is that I will answer with a few numbers. EU is based in Brussels. In Brussels, there are, I think, 600 or 700 politicians. And there are, for each politician, there are 5 registered lobbyists, which means that there are over 3,500 lobbyists. The largest lobby agency has 1,500 employees, which means 2 employees for each politician in Brussels. Microsoft alone spends in Europe billions of euros for lobby. So we do what we can with our words, trying to advocate and convince. Unfortunately, there should be other weapons. The unfortunate reality is that governments, and in this case, not only the EU, but many European governments and many governments around the world are not looking at the interest of their users, but at the interest of corporations. Okay, and that's all.